Bercero versus Capital Development Corporation, GR number 154765. Facts of the case. Capital Development Corporation leased its commercial building to R.C. Nicolas for a 10-year period or until January 31, 1993, with the option for the latter to make additional improvements in the property and to sublease portions thereof to third parties. R.C. Nicolas subleased separate portions thereof to various tenants and Pedro Bercero. Bercero's sublease contract with R.C. Nicolas was for a 3-year period or until August 16, 1998. Failure to pay rent, Capital filed an ejectment case against R.C. Nicolas, docketed as civil case number 52933. Capital also impleaded the subleasees of R.C. Nicolas as parties defendants. During the pendency of the civil case, Bercero entered into a lease contract with Capital for a 3-year period from August 16, 1988 to August 31, 1991. On November 14, 1988, R.C. Nicolas filed a complaint of ejectment and collection of unpaid rentals against Bercero. The METC rendered a decision in favor of R.C. Nicolas and ordered the eviction of Bercero from the leased premises. Months later, the METC rendered a decision in civil case number 52933 in favor of Capital and ordered R.C. Nicolas to pay its unpaid rentals from September 1986 until October 1988. Meanwhile, since his eviction in November 1990, Bercero made repeated demands to Capital for his restoration and his possession of the commercial space leased to him, but to no avail. On March 24, 1992, Bercero filed a complaint of sum of money with attachment and mandatory injunction with damages against Capital before the RTC. The RTC held Capital liable for the restoration of the petitioner's possession and payment of actual damages. On appeal, the CA reversed the ruling of the RTC. Issue of the case: whether or not the lease contract between Capital and Bercero is valid. The Supreme Court held it is void. The lease contract between Bercero and Capital is void for having an inexistent cause. Capital did not have the right to lease the property to Bercero, considering that its lease contract with R.C. Nicolas was still valid and subsisting. A lease is a reciprocal contract, and its continuance, effectivity, or fulfillment cannot be made to depend exclusively upon the free and uncontrolled choice of just one party to a lease contract. Thus, the lease contract entered into between Bercero and Capital during the pendency of the lease contract with R.C. Nicolas is void. A void or inexistent contract is equivalent to nothing. It is absolutely wanting in civil effects. It cannot be a basis of actions to enforce compliance. Parties to a void agreement cannot expect the aid of the law. The courts leave them as they are because they are deemed in pari delicto, or in equal fault.